sheet to fill out before you have this meeting, like what's the schedule? Appreciations, just jot it down, new information, questions, so there's just a little spot for it. And then the person who runs the meeting, there's a lot of programs that have people swap running the meeting. I do not recommend that. Like, you run the meeting. So that's one thing. The number 3 is identify a support person who understands the approach and can support you. It might be somebody here. And then I wanted to say add to that 3 new gratitudes a day, because I tell you when I do it, my whole mood is significantly improved. And I think that goes for 3 gratitudes about the person who's in your family, like things you're grateful for, because it's very easy to focus on everything going wrong. And I really think it's so important, especially in our world, to start changing the way we scan the environment for information. So I thought that we could just do, I'm going to send you all a survey link, but maybe we could just briefly, the changes you've experienced as a result of taking the class, some key takeaways, what did you find most helpful, maybe things that you want more of, less of. I don't need to go around everybody, but any, changes, biggest takeaways, like biggest things that you remember. Yeah.
I was a Plan A parent,
Okay.
and I've become a Plan B parent.
I would flip between A and C.
Maybe a little C, but more A.
Mm-hmm.
I think that, I mean, there's a million things, but I think for me, one of the big also is the self-reflection piece, and that I've said it before, but not accepting yourself and being hard on yourself is your children are watching you do that. So I have a 10 and 12-year-old daughter. If I'm not accepting myself, they're not going to accept themselves.
Oh, that's really good.
So that was very big.
That's a very good one. Yes.
And I didn't realize I was saying things like, I'm not going to eat that, or I'm not, all those kind of things. Like I was doing all that and just doing it.
How you treat yourself is how they treat themselves and other people.
How can I expect them to not worry about things like that if I'm going to worry about it?
My only regret is that I didn't meet you many years ago.
Oh,
yeah.
You know my life. When I was raising my children.
Thank you.
And when I was the teacher many years ago.
Oh, thank you.
So, but at least it's never too late.
No. Yeah.
Just going back to your core, that like focusing on the children, that like a lot of times when a teacher has an agenda, like you don't really like step into the children's shoes. You just say, okay, we're doing a project, okay, we're having circle time, we're going outside, go play. Like, but giving empathy, like you really feel like when you go into their shoes, you're like, you want to help them more, you want to teach them more, you feel so connected to them. And they're not just little kids, they're actually people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have vivid memories of being in like a preschool classroom and the feel of it. Great ones, and then the feel of like that impersonal, like, okay, now we're going to circle, now we're going here, like. Thank you.
Yeah, it's really helpful to put yourself in anyone's shoes, but especially like children, because then you have more fun too, because you kind of feel like you want to be a kid like them.
Thank you. Everything except for sleeping better. So some ways that just to give you a vision of kind of what my vision is for schools and communities is in the schools that we've been in for a while that I like love going back to is you can feel the difference when you walk in the door, and a lot of those are when the teachers have taken it and the parents. So it often in those schools will do like the sessions for the teachers, and then what comes out of that is a core coaching group where you take a core group of teachers and meet each week for 8 sessions and you just discuss cases like this. And I find that application piece, my goal is to have people in the school that are practicing this, and then the parents take it, one in the school that I'm referring to, each year there's a parent program, 8-session program, and new teachers take that. And there's just, especially with the schools with the younger kids, you can walk in classrooms and kind of hear it. And that's my goal for like this whole community, is to create communities that are like that. And so the start would be kind of what you all did. And then the next steps from that are either, I feel like I'm always growing and understanding a lot of these skills. You can come back anytime and audit a class for free. If I had my act together, you could look at the calendar and see where the programs were and which skill was being taught. But if you email me and let me know if there's a class, that I will send you, if there's a particular skill you want, or you just want to come to sit into, an intro session, let me know, and I will let you know where it is or give you some options. You're welcome.
We need your email.
It's right there.
It's on the pad.
And tell me your name and the school. And then you can sign up for individual or group coaching. So I do it with, we meet one-on-one coaching. In schools, I love to go into the schools with preschool or kindergarten classrooms. And that's, and actually observe. And sometimes teachers will pick an individual child that they're focused on, or a lot of times there's a group of them. And, once you've taken all the skills, I'll observe, and then we'll meet, and we'll discuss, and then come up with a plan, and then come back and see how it goes. So that's where I see the skill, your application of the skills progressing. If you're interested in bringing us to your school, so right now this program was funded by the Charles Crane Family Foundation with support of the Associated and the Center for Jewish Education, and that money has been allotted for this year. But if you want us to come into your school sooner than later, what do I do again? Just,
I think that we decided that they should probably contact me, and then I confirm it out to Amy and then to you,
there.
right?
Yep. Good plan. I like that plan. That's fantastic.
Um,
And like us on Facebook if you can. And
She's all right.
and so Allison has the
Things.
whatever the certificates. I will also send you all, after you fill out the survey Monday thing, well, I will send to her a poster that has, you can put on your wall in your school or laminate it, and it has all the skills, really like quick little steps, and then and also a certificate. So if you didn't complete all the sessions, find another session somewhere so you can complete it. For those of you that completed it or didn't come to a session, you handed me the sheet, then you're good.
Right. So I have, thanks to the sign-in
There.
sheets every week.
Here we go.
I know which of you have finished everything and who needs to fill in, and I think almost everybody in this room has come to Ellie or has submitted something to me or directly to Ann to make up. So you and I will connect on that, just
Okay,
make
good.
sure. Actually, the people who are not here today are the ones, for the most part, that need to make things up. So, going back to Ann's point about auditing individual classes, Beth DeFilla and Goldsmith are jointly offering the 8-session Mariposa. It was offered first to their staff, and now we're filling in with additional staff. So if you have, and you should have all gotten an email probably today via CJE. So that's a great way to make up classes, and what I'll do too is I'll look at their schedule, and for the people who are in this class,
great.
I'll just say it's being offered at PT or Goldsmith. And I know that there are plans in the work at Beis Yaakov, Ner Tamid, and TA to jointly do the session together. So that's all good. Okay, so I have for everybody this form, and this needs to be filled out and goes in with your credentialing packet along with your certificate that Ann will submit.
Submit or send to you?
You'll send it to me, and I should probably tell you what needs to go on it so that they'll approve it. So
Yes.
we'll talk about that.
Thanks.
So I filled out just about everything. This is gonna go with your email and credentialing. I'm also going to send to you, I'm on a hunt for the actual documentation from MSDE approving this CPD number for you also to include, because I'm a fan of more is more when it comes to credentialing, and I wanna make sure that they have some hunting down, you know, the actual thing that MSD says, this is the course and this is the hours. We don't usually see this in early childhood, but this course was approved for older kids and then approved, I should send you the email from Tracy Versey also, approved by Tracy Versey, who's in charge of the workshop approvals for early childhood statewide, that this will also be fine for credentialing. So I have a few things to send you, but we're gonna document the heck out of this and everybody's gonna be great. So local school system, I'm not sure what you should say other than maybe private, since you're at private schools. We're not a school system. You're not in a school system.
So we should just put
You're,
private.
I think private school is fine, probably. And your name and your school, obviously. And then the only other things that you need to include are the last 4 digits of your social security, and you check off whether or not you hold a certificate, which means that you are a certified teacher, which everybody in here has a certificate, so you're fine. And then at the bottom, signature of professional development liaison or non-public school official.
Is that a direct?
Allison, you mean
Think you're sure.
credentialed, not certified, right?
Where it says hold certificate.
Like, there's a teaching certificate in Maryland, and then there's the credentialing.
Teaching
Most people
certificate.
don't have the teaching certificate.
Well, if you have 45 hours or 90 hours, that's what that,
What if you have a,
or your early childhood degree. Everybody in this
Oh.
room is a teacher in a school that requires them to be a certified teacher and have gone through classwork, et cetera. So you're all good with that.
you want us to give it to tonight?
No, this goes into your credentialing.
So who's
This
signing
gets
the signature
mailed-
of
your-
professional development? So who do we give it to?
So when you mail it into
It's your
credentialing
packet.
to MSD,
We're doing.
you're currently going through the process at your school, so Pearl will know how you submit that. But when you send in all of your certificates at the end of the year to credentialing, this goes with it. So every workshop you take at the CJE, when you come to the conference, when you come to all the professional development, everything, all that gets submitted. No, just for this one you're getting this. Yeah, because this is a little bit of a different situation. So it says at the bottom, 2 signed copies of this form with the instructor's original signature are submitted to the teacher's school system to be signed by the appropriate representative. That's your director. Okay? Melissa, for you,
That's
that's
the
I guess
signature
whoever's
of
your
professional
supervisor.
development liaison?
Yes,
So we need,
yes.
They need her signature
so you
on it.
make Michelle.
So Melissa's just going to stand.
That's so easy.
She gets a copy?
8 stays there.
1 copy must be retained by the LSS, that's your director,
Yeah.
and 1 copy is given to you. So she keeps 1 copy in her file, and the other one goes to credentialing. And you can make extra copies and put it in your, put it on your refrigerator. Okay? That's it. Okay, but just like every other credentialing. And then we will also send you your regular certificate. I'm probably gonna mail you the certificate. Or get it to you. You will get a certificate. You work at a school and I know where it is. I can find you. You're on my committees, et cetera. And I just want to take the opportunity to thank Anne for all of her awesome enlightenment. And I'll be insulted if you don't eat these munchkins.
She's trying to say that we have to know.
Yeah. I can give you, yeah, take a pass. I can go to the 5 thing, that's a 5 that's, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I understand that you're really sensitive to these
I'm telling you, you should have somebody. Right?
You should have. I was a little maybe crafted. Yeah. I'll be there. You'll be there. I will be there. But I already have a live-in parent calling from Puerto Rico.
I mean, that would be nice.
Last year, when I was still young, I love Irene.
This is unique. That's why I love Siobhan.
She is never, I don't get
I don't have to answer tomorrow. There we go, you guys. See you next
to
week.
her a couple times. She got, like I was saying, like she's old. I didn't know anything by her. Just said it's a hard job, you know.
No, it was,
I don't mean that she's getting old, she, you know, she's not competent. She's a good, yeah.
no, this is the
Yeah.
first time. No, I've never seen her.
No.
This is the first time. It's always with her. So if you had seen with her, then it was.
She said, stay home and take care
It
of
was,
her.
she, they don't, it's her 5 minutes.
Take care of them.
It's not through the state or Randy or anybody.
And she's no,
I'll get you a screener, I'll take her.
but I didn't, when I said that to her, I'm thinking to myself, one day I'm gonna retire, you know what I mean? She took it like I'm telling you, like a mental health.
Yeah, they are, yeah.
I know she goes, I know she needs something.
Yeah, they're very good. They found their passion and they, yeah, one to sing.
And that,
Not even just.
but you know what, it's okay. But you know what? She still has her mother to take care of her.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So that she
Yeah.
can babysit. I know
Amazing.
that. I've done that before.
Yeah.
That's, you gotta seriously.
And I was, what does it do if you don't?
Not, I don't know, because
And I'm like, oh, she's gonna wanna do all this.